Hello, everyone. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And I've been waiting for such a long time to do this, and everybody has been writing to me. So, what are starseed souls? What are starseed souls? And above all, what am I going to do today? As I wrote in the description of this video, this is a change in the way I'm going to start healing at a more global level. And I'm organizing this through you, through those that are here that believe or they know they're starseed souls. And I'll explain that so you get an idea of who you are. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you. All right. So starseeds are, and you'll see that I'll be talking a lot, and what I'm going to be doing is at the end, I'll ask, for your questions regarding this precise topic, okay? And at the end, I'm going to ask those of you who feel that you are part of this category to write me, because we'll be meeting on a regular level, not teaching you. This is not to be taught, but to carry out healing on a global level. Now, starseeds in general, all right, are very highly advanced spiritual beings and souls that originated from distant planets. We all have originated from a soul group of origin that is distant. Very few come really from the earth itself. And these evolved souls carry a sort of wisdom within, along with special abilities and gifts. Every starseed, no matter what system they come from, no matter where they come from, carry special codes designed to unlock their knowledge and abilities at a predetermined or even spontaneous time. Now, what I'm going to clarify even more is, what is it that they actually do, and how do you know if you're a starseed soul? Starseeds agree to come to Earth to fulfill a sort of mission. However, what happens, and this is the problem that we need to clarify, is that when they get here, they're made to forget their true origins, and many go through their existence on Earth without knowing where their souls really come from. And they forget their homes, they forget their missions. But once they awaken, and this is the spiritual awakening, they will see clearly what they must be doing and what they're here to be doing. That's when they start to live out their purpose. Now, how do you know if you're a star seed? Have you ever looked up at the sky and felt a longing to be up there? I wish I were up there, perhaps. And this is not just stargazing. You refer to yourself as an old soul. You feel like you are an old soul, or you've just never quite felt like you fit in with souls around you or people around you on Earth. It's quite possibly that you're a starseed. Now, there are 16, 17, 20 signs that will make you understand that you're a starseed. First of all, you have a knowing or a sort of recognition. Chances are that when you came across the word starseed, it drew you in somehow. It made you come here. And you might not have been able to explain it. You don't really know, but you just had this feeling that you needed to know more. And that's definitely what happened to many. It happens to many. And sometimes in life, you ignore signs, a little push. You ignore the push to go into and do your souls, carry out your soul's perfect. That's the first, knowing or recognizing. And then the second is, you're always with your eyes up gazing at those stars. You've felt a connection to a certain bright planet that glows out there. You definitely feel that you feel more at home gazing than on this three-dimensional Earth. And another sign is when you're always looking at things more deeply. You're wondering the why of things. Now, I don't mean, my boyfriend left me, why? I don't mean that. I mean, why is it that there is love on this earth? Or why is it that some people can fall in love and others have no clue? Okay, things that are not superficial, they're not three-dimensional. And another sign is that you don't feel like you belong. You often feel like you don't belong. And as you get older, you find it harder and harder to be around others, and you feel uncomfortable in a group, and in most groups that are around you. And another sign is that you have this feeling that you want to go home. You feel like there is a place that you're not anymore, and you're home. You have to go home. At home, you think, let me take I could feel, and I feel like I'm doing something, like the great mother and the great father being near you. And another sign is that you're very intuitive and you're very psychic. And I don't mean intuitive that things hit you, or you get messages but you have no clue what they are, or you hear voices but you have no clue. I mean that you understand when you want to understand. You are the one who asks for messages and they come to you. All right, now you can see, and here I'd like to point out is that starseed souls are not the kind of people who go to have their cards read, who go for readings, who go to people like me, because they know the answers already. So, think about that. Another sign is that you're very empathic. Being empathic is that you feel others' pain, you feel their joys, you feel their shadows, you feel their own empathy and their own willingness to collaborate with you. And another sign is that you're spiritual. You have this highly spiritual nature. And, if you're asking me, how do you know if I'm a starseed? I'm talking about it now. And if you have to ask often, that means you really don't, and you really don't have those qualities. You love a little bit of fantasy and mysteries of the world. You like to get your hands dirty with the stories that intrigue you, that are, again, underneath the surface. You don't go asking why Sushant was murdered and what was the reason. No, you question it at a different level. Why do these things occur? What is the message for us humans on this third dimensional level? What is it that is happening here? And again, other people have called you an old soul, oftentimes. And another thing is you don't have time for the petty little stuff. You don't sweat the little stuff. You don't have time for that, for pettiness. And something else is that you're here for a purpose, but you struggle to pinpoint what that purpose is, okay? And I don't mean you're here to make money, or you're here to bring a person, a man or a woman, to salvation, or, you're here for a purpose that is greater than the one, okay? Then another sign is that how can I put it? You have a real problem with systems and authority. That's when I knew at a very young age something was wrong with me. Whether it's your boss, the government, society, some of you, of course, work in large institutions, and you work in government offices. I worked for, years and years and years in the government in the United States and in Italy in university systems. And the thing is that I faced the challenge. It's a challenge that you have when you have to work in a large institution. You love to serve others. Serving is not bringing coffee to someone in the morning, but you serve their interests. You serve them at a level of healing. And another thing is, and this is quite common, so it's not just that you do this, that it happens, but you see repeating numbers, angel, what people call angel numbers. You don't see it once, but you see over and over, okay? And above all, again, you don't call on someone for a reading because you already know. Now, there are different types of star seeds. There's a Syrian from the Syrian group of soul group of origin, and these souls come to the planet. They come from the planets Sirius A and Sirius B. And these two planets initiated the awakening of all human beings. What I'm talking about here is a shift of consciousness. I want to work with a group of starseeds who are capable to shift consciousness that we need now after COVID, after it started, because there's so many problems around now that are not going to be solved unless we do a concert, we get together and have a concerted effort to get rid of them. Let's say that there's another group, Palladians, and these star seeds come from the Pleiades, a star cluster that's also known as the Seven Wonders or the Seven Sisters. The Pleiadians behave much like humans, except that they're more emotionally and spiritually evolved. Again, like I said, most come to the planet. They decide to reincarnate to understand consciousness and to create a shift of conscious. There's also another soul group of origin called Arcturians. These are very profound beings coming from Arcturus. It's the most advanced civilization in our galaxy. They're fifth dimensional beings, and they built a society that became the original prototype of how to live on this earth. My camera is moving in and out. I hope I make it to the end. Then there are things that you have heard before, Andromeda and Andromedans. These are very benevolent, fun-loving, loving, telepathic race of people from the Andromeda galaxy. There are also things that you have heard, like indigo, crystal, and rainbow, the indigo children. You've heard that before. Individuals from these three soul groups often possess very special or supernatural abilities, including telepathy, clairvoyance, light emanation. They emanate light, the energy cleansing, deep empathy, and reality shifting. There's also what commonly is known as light workers. I tend to use the term light workers in a broad sense to cover all of these, and the light workers are special souls from a variety of different planets. I myself is from the soul group of origins of the parallels. I'm from a parallel universe, and they love they're kind, goodness, and the light worker is also prone to unconditional love. And on this earth, they are prone to being hurt very, very often. There are also starseeds from Orion. The Orions always ask the question about every detail. They'll try to understand how everything works and why everything works as it does. And the Orion group mission on Earth is to help improve our understanding of the value of science. Now, there are two others, Lemurians, and I've spoken about the Lemurians in the past here. Lemurians and Atlanteans, and there are two lands long ago that were lost in the Earth's seas, and they were very advanced civilizations that developed philosophical, spiritual, and healing technologies. And then there's a soul group of origin that is called reptilians, and you have heard about this, I'm sure. They're also known as lizard people, saurians, or draconians. Now, these shapeshifters, you've seen science fiction, you've seen the latest things on television and movies, shapeshifters, they change shape. They seek to control the earth in the pursuit of self-benefit. Reptilians are the negative light. All right, now the negative light were once starseeds, but they used it to their advantage. And reptilians bring a lot of negative energy that I can feel. It does emanate. When a reptilian's around, I feel it. Reptilians have many enemies who live in the light, okay, and have the mission to combat all darkness, but then they change when they're out of alignment. Now, I'm trying to think if there's anything else at this point. At this point, I'd like to do a collective mantra. I'm going to write 2 general mantras that we can take time to do here and now, that enliven the qualities in their vibration. Let me put them here. Let's see if I can get them. If I can copy them, let's see, and put it in the chat. This way I can put it on the screen. Oh, I don't think I can. I don't think I can. All right. One is Shanti. Yeah. Shanti. I will get that out. And the other is Anandam. Anandam. Okay, so this is one, Shanti, and Anandam. Now, the mantra Shanti is to restore peace and harmony, and Anandam is to restore inner joy and contentment. And I'd like to do this now. In the next 3 or 4 minutes, I will be whispering, and you will do this at your own pace and out loud in where you are located. So we'll begin. Now, I'm going to put up 4 others, in truth, 4 other. If I can, I always have this problem of getting rid of, I'll get rid of that, and get rid of this, and see if I can put this up. These are 4 other. I can't. All right. Bur, Buva, Bur, Buva, Suvaha. Okay, this is 1. The next is, you can start with this. These are enlightenment mantras that I'm putting up. Enlightenment mantra. Enlightenment is a state of balance, generally. It's a state of balance, harmony, and self-awareness. Remember that. Self-awareness on all levels, and all mantras especially. And all mantras indirectly support the spiritual goal. However, the Gayatri mantra, and that's brava, Deepashki, that's our special, being the mother of the wisdom of the entire creation, gives you the direct path to enlightenment. So that is the first. You find the one that best suits your purpose and you can use it. Okay, that's the second here. And the third, okay. The third, and it's not really important how you pronounce it. It's important that you pronounce it. I will go over them with you. Okay. And this. So we have omburbuvad suvaha, omburbuha, buva suvaha. The second is tatsavitur vayanam. The third is bargo devasha dimahi. And the last is dihoyo na. Sorry, that's a mistaken letter. Now without the B, pracho dayat. Now take just again 2 or 3 minutes towards enlightenment. Towards enlightenment. I'll remove this second one. Now, those of you who keep asking, how do we know, how do we know, you've probably come in late, and I did work it, I did speak about it before in this video at the beginning. You can go back and see it. But now I'd like to talk about dimensions, because I mentioned this is the third dimension. And yes, there is a fifth dimensional level where the enlightenment begins. And at the sixth dimension, that's where people do not come to find, they know. But let's see what it is about the shift, how to shift. It's really no secret that this is a very dynamic time. We're transitioning from 3D to 5D. And humanity is undergoing so many radical changes. I don't even have to tell you that, because you are experiencing it yourselves. And although these changes at times can feel very, very difficult, very revolutionary, and very cruel at times, think of all the deaths. Many of us have a deeper knowing, all right, that's the key, this deeper knowing, that whatever's happening on a collective level and on an individual level is in divine order. Now, 3D to 5D, what does that mean? So to start off, clearly, we should know that the dimensions we speak of are not different physical space. Each dimension is actually a different level of consciousness. We're talking about consciousness here. And when I began and I talked about the shift in consciousness was what we were aiming for, not I will be aiming for in the future. So the key points of the dimensions are the third dimension, 3D. This is the state of consciousness that most people in our society have been operating from for such a long time. And three-dimensional consciousness holds perspectives of duality, hot, cold, good, bad, polarity, individuality, and separation, one from another. It's a more dense material awareness. In this state of awareness, our focus is usually on survival. Right? How do I get to the next paycheck? How can I get this money so I can, fix my car? It's more about material security, really. 3D is the common daily state of consciousness that most people have been operating from and that many are shifting away from. 4D, what's 4D? 4D is the state of consciousness that's often seen as the transition from 3D to 5D. Four-dimensional awareness can be sort of considered the in-between phase of integration and changing perceptions. You're getting there. It's really a dimension of thought at a higher level. This dimension can come with the experience of confusion as well. As we sort through our own beliefs, you start changing beliefs, you get new revelations, and you shift your perceptions. 4D is a phase of unmasking, taking off the mask as we see beyond our ego, gaining sort of a higher perspective on the concept of duality. And we start to see that there's more than just physical reality. We start to understand that there's more out there. It can't be just paying the bills. And as we shed what no longer aligns us to our own divinity, we become less dense, less heavy in preparation for 5D. And another indicator that you're experiencing 4D awareness can be sort of include seeing more angel numbers and experiencing synchronicities that give you a heightened sense of awareness. Now, 5D, the fifth dimension, is a level of consciousness that's embodied, is embodied oneness and absolute love. This dimension allows us to experience a life that is less dense, beyond duality and ego. So the spiritual dimension of 5D is all about truth, integrity, and energetic experience. To learn more about 5D ascension, you need to read about it, understand it. There's so much out there for you to understand and to get information from. There are signs that you're going from 3D to 5D, and it's usually being disillusioned with your physical reality. You have trouble relating to most of your family and friends for a period of time. You're realizing you need to make some lifestyle changes. You have unresolved wounds and fears and traumas and old conditioning patterns that will come up, and you'll feel the need for healing. Usually the lines of duality become blurred, this good and bad, evil and good. And the relationships involved in that period, going from 3 to 5D, have such a wider range of possibilities that oftentimes we think, what am I doing? What has been happening? What am I capable of? Why do I leave that person? Why did I walk away? Even if you're not aware of this ascension journey that you're going through, it will happen naturally to you as you experience the current situations in your life. Now, if you feel called upon, you can also choose from this process. You can choose to accept this process. And what I'm here to ask you today, for all of those who are in the category of starseed souls, who have this ability to be helpful to others on a grand scale, I'm going to ask you to write to me. Write to me at one of these addresses. That's not my address, but you can write to those two emails, the two websites. There's a place to contact me. And you tell me, refer to this Starseed session and say that, tell me a bit about yourself. First of all, tell me your time zone, where you come from, and what it is that you are sure, that makes you sure that you are a star seed soul, and any experiences that you have had with, how can I say, any experience that you have had with healing others, working with others, what your general spiritual awakening, not a long thing, but just, something to make me understand. And then I can tap into you and to see if it will work. If it is, you're ready for this. Because what I will be doing then is inviting all of those who have come and indeed are capable of working at that level to a first meeting, a Zoom meeting, a specific Zoom meeting with a specific Zoom address that I'll give you just for this Starseed purpose. And we're going to work together. We're all going to have a bit of a job, and, based on what you've written to me and what I understand. And then we'll start the work, okay? And it's not, like I said in the beginning, it's not a session for you to learn. You will be learning. Of course, we learn from each other all the time, but I'm not there to teach you how to be intuitive or psychic or anything like that. It's to work together to heal at a global level. I don't know if I've made my point. So I think that, let's see, let me now go for questions. Questions relating to this. Do you have questions relating to what I said? If there's something that's not clear. Sorry for talking so much. I'm trying to see if I can get an overlay with my, there it is. There's some, there's my address there, website, the email address. Well, Dumindra, you ask what kind of work we're going to do. I just mentioned it. I just told you. I just said we're going to be doing healing work on a global level. We're going to work together as a group of starseed souls. If you have the criteria and the ability to do that. Let's see. Any other questions? Any other questions related to this? Okay, Rinda, let's see. This is, I'm in a process of healing myself, move on a path and healing others. And so, Rinda, what you should be asking yourself now, just to make it clear, I've got to get ready, is it, am I sure of what I'm doing? Obviously, we're never sure, okay? There's always doubt, and doubt is an interesting and important thing. But ask yourself and write to me. I got rid of that overlay. I think I could, there it is again. Okay, AB, what will help to get into our own spirituality? This is something on a personal level that you need to work out. It is, the chanting is a beginning, meditation, simply reading and working with others, going towards others, serving, all of the things that I mentioned. Would be a good idea for you to start doing or start practicing. Let's see. And MVS, we did this all throughout the video. You can go back and look at it and you'll understand if you're a starseed soul. Let's see. What else? Yeah. This is Nirvana. Yeah, we are definitely right at this level now. I keep trying to keep this up, but then I can't put anything else on the video. What else? Let's see if there are any other questions concerning this. And like I said, write. Someone asks about their spirit guides. I can't. I lost it now. Okay, Radhika, I can't deal with the personal questions today because I'm working on a different level. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay. Let's see. There you go. I have learned to heal myself by praying in tongues, but not ready to help others now. Okay, not on a one-to-one basis, Srinjoy, but you may be at a global level where you don't have to be in direct contact with people. That is, it happens often that way. This is something, Lopa, that you need to ask yourself. I know that you know already. This is bliss. This is spiritual bliss, usually. Huh? Let's see. Okay, we have. Do starseed souls have life, past lives, and extra? You see, starseed souls, as I mentioned during the video, come from a different group of origin. They don't always reincarnate or incarnate on the earth. They're out there. So the question is, how often do they come? You know, there are about 80,000 starseed souls on the earth. Very few. They're not many at all. So let's see. Vrinda, you see same pattern almost every day, but you have no clue what they are. Let's see. If you need to ask, Shinade, I think I'm channeling, is this true? I don't know. I don't know anything about you. You'd have to, ask me, but only in relation to this work in the future. So if you write to me something that is nothing to do with this, I may not answer you. I'm sorry. Okay, so if a person knows their purpose as a starseed and actually is working on them, why do they need to talk to you or work with you, your group? What's the purpose? Bhagya, I mentioned before, to heal at a global level. Doing healing at a global level, because there is a need for a shift of consciousness. That's why. You don't have to come to me if you don't want to. I'm sure that we'll have enough, people. Let's see. How can one learn which meditation? You have to try them. You have to try them. That's the only way. Dumindra, this is something you need to find out for yourself. Again, when you ask a lot of these questions, it's very likely you are not a starseed soul. When you need to constantly go for advice to others, for readings or for direct knowledge about yourself. Radhika, okay, you get it. That's okay. Let's say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sign off and thank you for joining me, for supporting me, and we'll come back. I'll be back. I was thinking next week to channel Presley, who unfortunately passed so soon. She came to me a few times. I'll be working on that. I'll announce it on my YouTube channel, and you'll see the scheduling there for next week. Bye bye.